certainly says something for the quality of this fixture when experts everywhere haven't been able to predict the victor. Lovely turn by Joe Cooney. A nice sidestep and delightful skill.
I never really retired, Jim. You know, I had a few injury problems for the last couple of years, and I had an operation in a groin, so so far so good this year anyway, so I'm back again.
It was well known, Joe, that groin caused you an awful lot of trouble. How did you cure it eventually?
I had an operation last January, 12 months. Jerry McEntee was a surgeon in Dublin, he that did it for me. And since then, thanks be to God, I've had great relief.
You gave Jerry a bit of a fright though, Joe, by coming back to hurl against Dunloy only 3 weeks after the operation.
That's right, Jim. I felt really good, and he had given me a programme to do after the operation, and I was doing everything he had told me to do. So things felt well, and I asked him could I go back, but he told me to be on your own peril if you get injured after that, it's your own fault. So I did, I went back after that.
Now a year later, Joe, you're feeling really good, obviously.
Yeah, in good shape, Jim. We've been doing okay at club level, and I suppose I've been brought back since then. You know, the club level has been fairly good so far this year, and Matty Murphy gave me a call and I was delighted to accept.
Tell me about your appetite for the game now, Joe.
Well, the break we've gotten, you know, has been great. We've been fairly successful over the last few years with the club, and I think the years have been very long. But I think last year we got a break of about 6 months, which did us all the good in the world. And now I think it's lovely to be back, and the weather has cleared up, and the ground has gotten a bit harder, and the ball is hopping, and I think it's kind of very suitable now for playing hurling.
This was the 5th successive Connacht hurling final to be played in Roscommon since the fixture was revived in 1995. And so far, despite some valiant efforts, Roscommon have been unable to break Galway's stranglehold on the game in the province. Playing with the wind in the first half pleased Roscommon manager Michael Keneally, but Galway raced into an 8 points to 2 lead, and then Roscommon goalkeeper Adrian Tully brought off this great save from Galway corner forward Kevin Broderick. That was just one of many brilliant saves that the Four Roads goalie made on the evening, and he inspired his team to lift their game. Midfielder Mickey Conniff's point here cut it back to 8-3 for Galway. And a minute later, it was 8-4 when Brendan Boyle hit a good crossfield ball to Mickey Conniff and on to Ray Mulray for another fine score from out the field. The Galway full forward line did the bulk of their team scoring, and their combination play was superb. Kevin Broderick here to Ollie Fahy, and Ollie Fahy with an angled point from play. Then Joe Rabbit, making a return to the team, having missed the closing stages of the National League, set up a point for Eugene Cloonan, who would go off injured a couple of minutes later. Just before the half-time whistle, the only goal of the half by Kevin Broderick of Galway. And so that set up a Galway lead at the interval of 1 goal and 11 points to Roscommon's 5 points, and Galway to play with the wind at their backs in the second half. Their second goal came from Joe Cooney's delightful pick-up and scoring pass to Ollie Canning, who made an impressive championship debut. Sub Justin Campbell then got through for what would have been Galway's third goal, but once again Roscommon keeper Adrian Tully came to the rescue. Roscommon now needed something special, and big Colm Kelly gave them hope with this penalty goal. However, Galway's reply was their third goal. Once again, Ollie Fahy set it up. This time, Alan Kearns whipped the sliotar to the back of the Roscommon net. Clare-born Fergus Flynn scored 4 points for Galway, all from play, and that kind of shooting pleased his midfield partner, Joe Cooney. After that, Ollie Fahy and Shane Sweeney swapped goals, and it finished Galway the winners, 4-26, Roscommon 2-8. Connacht GA Council President Phelan Murphy then had the honour of presenting the Inky Flaherty Memorial Cup to Galway captain Brian Feeney.
Well, it's very difficult to assess the game, you know. It's very difficult to prepare for the game, first of all, because if you only win by 9 or 10 points, then everybody tells you you're going no place and that you won't win in All Ireland for 5 or 6 years, like some of the local papers have told us. And if you win it by 20 points, then they say, you know, the game is of no value to anybody. the reality is, I mean, we don't make the fixture, we fulfil it, and we've got to prepare for it. We have got to be focused for it because it's our entry into the All-Ireland series, and we have to win the game. And I mean, we haven't a back door. The only thing we have at this stage is a trap door.
Adrian Tully, you played a wonderful game out there, and yet you have the disappointment of looking at that scoreboard. Can you sum up for us what it feels like to make saves like that and then look up and see the score at the end?
It's very disappointing, but I'm on just one of the 15 that played, or 17 today, and I know every fella out there gave his best, you know, and at the end of the day, like, I just do my job, which is to try and save it. But it's disappointing, but what can you do, you know?
Look at the great goalies in the game now, like David Fitzgerald, Stephen Byrne and all these. You can make saves like they can, and yet you're not as well known as those.
I probably get more practice than they do.
That was grand, yeah, I enjoyed it, you know. It was a nice fine evening for a game, and the ball was hopping, it was moving fairly fast, so it was nice to win anyway, you know.
What do you think of the performance of the lads around you, the younger players especially?
It was okay this evening, you know. It's very hard to judge it, you know. Roscommon wouldn't be as strong as any of the other teams that maybe would be in it, but still we were happy to put up a good score and not concede too much, you know.
Well, a stroll for Galway, a big disappointment for Roscommon, who might have expected to have given a better account of themselves. Cyril Farrell, nice fine evening for hurling, of course, but there are two trains of thoughts about Joe Cooney being in the side at the moment. One is that it's great to see a player of his calibre